Today I'm going to play golf like a high handicapper, but I'm going to show you a few things that you can do that are very simple to lower your scores without changing too much. So if you're a high handicap golfer and you feel stuck, there's going to be a few things that you do that we see time and time again on the golf course that are costing you shots. And this is a prime example. Par 4, 363 yards, you get to this tee box and you think, well, driver, it's a par 4, I've got to hit my drive, I've got to get it as far down there as possible, because if I hit a 6 iron I might get it in play but I'm miles away and then I have more shots. You come straight in here, you tee your golf ball up and you make a fantastic swing, you hit the best shot of the day, it's the first hole, we flush that and it goes straight into those trees that I've just zoomed in on. Straight away there, we're a lost ball. We're on the first hole, we've lost our tee shot, we go down there, you either have to do the dreaded walk back or you blob this hole. You're already off to a bad start, you're already chasing your handicap. So what can I do? How do I know and what should I be doing when I come onto the tee box? Well, I did have many years and still have years on the DP World Tour, coaching players and also at one very small point caddying for a good friend of mine and a fantastic player who was on tour. And we would go on every single hole, we'd walk to the tee box, we'd have a look at our yardage book or we'd use our rangefinder and we would get the yardage. Right, the trouble's at 240 yards, it's downhill playing 230, I want to hit something 180 yards that might run on a little bit more. And straight away there we know, well, that is not the driver. And today guys, we are using the VISTA GET Golvia Rangefinder, which we have been sent you. We will see a discount code on the screen below and you can go and get yourself one of these rangefinders to help you get away from that high handicap. And you will have seen there a red button on there, so we are using slope, and nice and easy here with this rangefinder, it's on there because you're not allowed to use it in competition. So if you are a beginner golfer, if you're a relatively new golfer, if you're a high handicap who doesn't play many competitions, we can use it today. So we can see that, like we said, it's playing 240, it's playing 10 yards shorter, 230. When you come out and play in your competition and you're using the rangefinder just to double check, you need to make sure slope's off. Nice and easy, you press the mode button, it goes off. Not too complicated. So for me, like I said, I'm trying to hit a 180 yard shot that might run out a little bit more. Again, we know it's downhill, we know the fairways are firm at the moment, and that's something else for you to take into account. So I'm going to come in here with my 6 iron, the elusive 6 iron I said at the start of this video. And I'm just going to make a normal golf swing on here. I'm not trying to get it to go 229, so as close to the trees as possible. A nice launch straight down the middle, and we are in play, we are in the fairway, and we have a shot into that green. So straight away, a rangefinder, the VISTA GET Golvia, is helping me play simple golf, make it a little bit easier and not lose pointless shots. Now, we have tested multiple rangefinders on the channel and this is another fantastic option from VISTA GET. When they first reached out to obviously look at sending me this product to test on the channel, when I see VISTA GET and I typed it in Google, it did come up with some private jets, and I thought, well, that'd be nice if they can fly me somewhere. But it was this rangefinder, and it's an affordable rangefinder. We do have flag lock, we do have the LED screen, we do have the ability to turn slope on and off, and one big thing we also have is a little bit of try measure mode. So that's a little bit of point to point. So if you're in the trees and you want to know how far you've got to the flag, you can go into the fairway, point it at your ball, point it at the flag, and it'll calculate how far you have got. Or you might be trying to see how wide a fairway is or how wide a gap is for you to get through, and you can do that as well, which I think is something that is being used more and more because people like myself, like every golfer, Unfortunately, at some points we do venture into the trees or we do get stuck behind something, so we can use that to our advantage. But they have provided us with a discount code, guys, so that will be in the description below. If you're looking for a rangefinder, then get into that description, use that discount code and get yourself something that can really help you lower your scores. And guys, if you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But a massive thank you to all you subscribers. We've finally made it over 50,000. We're on the move. Next step, let's get to 100. So here's another prime example of a par 4. We've got stroke index 8, we've got 370 yards. And you'll walk onto this tee, you think stroke index 8, I get a shot. It's par 4, it's driver again. But we need to think about this here. So we've got bunkers on this hole, and another great thing about the VISTA GET rangefinder is that we're able to do a little bit of try measure. So we can measure different points. So for example here, we want to see how far these bunkers are. So there's a bunker on the right of this fairway, and that comes in at 220 yards. The one on the left for me is 270. So if you can reach 220 yards, you probably want to use the tee box, move to the right hand side and aim up that left hand side, because there's more rough. You're not going to reach the 273. You're then going to leave yourself a better shot into this green. If we just stand in the middle of this tee and I'm a drawer of the ball and I set this off right and it doesn't come back, I can reach those bunkers. If I'm a slicer of the golf ball and I aim down the middle or just down the left and it slices, I'm going straight into those bunkers. For me, I want to know, if I hit a good shot here, what's the distance I've got, or what is the gap I've got between those two bunkers? So I can quickly change modes on here, press the M button, scan both points, and it's telling me right there that we've got 30 yards in between those two bunkers. So do I feel like I can get through that? I'd like to say hopefully. But more importantly, I know that right bunker is 220 yards, which even with a poorly struck drive, I should be able to carry. So again, for me, I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to aim up the right half of this fairway. If I push that a little bit, I know it's going to get past the trouble and it doesn't bring in that bunker on the left. Not just using this to lock onto the pin and just be able to hit it onto the green. We need to use it more smartly from the tee box. And this is exactly what I'm saying, guys. So I'm trying to play as a 28 handicapper. I'm trying to play as a beginner golfer. You will just come onto the middle of this tee box, you just hit your driver because that's the club, you hit it well, you go into the bunker, you punish, you're 2 shots out of the bunker, you're quickly looking at 7s and 8s, and this is why obviously your handicap isn't coming down. But for me, I've taken that into account. I'm going to aim up the right hand side and just let that come back. Started right, drawing, as we can see. It's straight over that bunker that I aimed at. It's in the rough, but it's not in trouble, and that is the main thing. I'm in play. Yes, I've hit it up the right. Yes, I'm in the rough, but from there, it's very easy for me to still be able to get to the green. Even as a 28 handicapper, you're going to be able to get a club to that. You're not having to chip out of a bunker and lose a shot for no reason. So you'll see, if we can call this semi-rough, it is a little bit baked out here in the UK. I'm in a position that's absolutely fine. I would have been short of the bunker on the left, but that's something that I don't want to risk going in, because even for me, it would mean laying up, or I do have to play a perfect shot. So this is where now 28 handicapper would come in, get their VISTA GET out of their bag. They would start to get these numbers. Flag does say it's 113. So we have got flag mode locked on at the moment, and I'll show you that if you're playing. One big thing, obviously, you can see the red light on there, so it is showing that we do have slope activated, because you're not allowed to use that in a competition. That was 113 yards playing 117, so straight away 4 yards difference. So you'll be straight away going, okay, I want to play 117 yards. But we need to take into account, right, we've got wind into the face. So it's already playing around about 125. So you go, okay, 125 with the wind, that's fine. That's my 9-iron, that's my 8-iron, that's my pitching wedge. Well, there's one more thing that we need to take into account. So use your rangefinder, and I want you to get what the carry is for the edge of the bunker, because that is the front of the green. So 103 playing 105. So 105 is what it's going to take you to get to the front of the green. And you might say, well, yeah, but if I'm hitting an iron, that should easily get there. You will have hit shots in the past and you will have hit it 125 yards. But that might have landed at 95 yards and ran out to 125. So when you go and practice, you need to think about, right, if I'm using my rangefinder, I need to know what I need to carry it to make sure that I get onto the green. So straight away there, I've got to think, right, if I hit my sand wedge, for example, my 56 degrees, I know it goes 100 yards, probably carries about 95, so that's not going to get me there. 52, again, is going to carry around about 110, and it's going to go around about 115, so still short of the 125 I've got to play. So I'm thinking pitching wedge, because I know my pitching wedge should carry around about 125, which is exactly what this is playing, and it'll stop at around about 130. But if I don't catch it, it's still going to carry that front number. It's still going to get over 110 yards. And this is where, for a lot of golfers, if you're a mid-handicap golfer, if you're a high-handicap golfer, and you're coming up short like mid-handicap Dave, 65% of the time, then use your rangefinder to see what it is to carry on the green. Get yourself down to a trackman range somewhere like Waterfront Golf or anywhere near you, and start to measure your distances, start to understand how far you carry your clubs, because the carry number for me is more important than the total, because if you don't know your carry, you're going to get into a lot of trouble that you don't need to get into. So there, straight away, I've pushed that right, I've not hit it perfect, so it's gone over that bunker line, which a lot of people would be knees shaking, worried they're going to be in that greenside bunker, but that's still on the green and pretty close to the flag. So even though I pushed it, I didn't hit it great. Because I've took the right club, I'm up on the green. I've gone to my pitching wedge, I've not tried to force a 52 there, and I'll go and get that divot, which is more dust than divot. Then we'll talk about the holes that everybody hates, whatever handicap you are. And you can see there, using that rangefinders, help me have the confidence that even a misstruck shot has got over that. And remember guys, there is a discount code for the VISTA GET rangefinder, which will be in the description below. Let's see if we can hole out. And it's the old age saying of, yes, we want your good golf to be better, but you're only as good as how good your bad golf is. So I've hit two average shots, to say the least, that I've not struck it well. If you watch me off that tee and into this green, you could easily say, well, the way he struck it, it could be a high teen handicap. But I've taken the trouble into account, I've been able to manage it, it landed just over that bunker, it's kicked down. Now I've got a chance for a birdie. So a 3 playing bad golf, we'd take that all day. Let's get to that hole now that everybody hates, and on every scorecard that I see, there's always a big number on these holes. And I know you might be thinking this video, well, you know, everybody started somewhere, 28 handicappers, beginner golfers, haven't had the experience to know this, and no, and I'm not picking on those kind of golfers, because I've seen tour players done it. When I worked on the DP World Tour between 2018 and 2023, I saw players come onto the tee box, they just get the rangefinder out, or in rounds they'll have their yardage book, they'll get the number for the hole, okay, 161, and they would just pick their club. So 161, that's normally a good 8 iron, right, I'll hit that. And most of the time they'll be roughly pin high because they're a tour player, but if they slightly misstrike it, they're bringing in trouble at the front of the green. So what I want you to do as an everyday golfer, whether you're off scratch, whether you're off 5, if you're off 8, if you're off 14, if you're off 18, if you're off 23, or if you're off 36, whatever handicap you are, I want you to get the back number of the green. So if you can, try and get what the back edge of that green is. So for me, straight away here, we can see that it is 180 yards. So we've got 20 yards past that flag. You might be thinking, well, yeah, but if I hit it 180 yards, then it's going to be long of the green. It's going to be towards the back, but that is banking on you hitting a perfect strike with the perfect club, with the perfect weather. Because a lot of the times we don't hit it out of the middle, we slightly misstrike it, so yes, 160 might be or 180 might be the best flush strike with your 4-iron, but on average it's probably going 170. So then that's going to be at least over the treble at the front, and it's going to give us a chance to be able to hit the green. It's not bringing in, if I was going 160, that's my 6-iron, I misstrike that, I drop it back 10 yards to 150, we're in a pot bunker again, we're short of the green, we're adding to those statistics that most golfers come up short of the green. Let's be that guy that goes a little bit longer. So I'm going to grab my 6-iron here. Again, I could get there with an 8-iron. It's not playing the warmest this morning, so we've got to take into account that it's not as warm as normal. So a good strike, nice launch, and that is straight on the back half of that green. So guys, there is a few tips for you to be able to go from a 28 handicap at a beginner golfer, even a mid-handicap golfer. Fantastic rangefinder, very clear optics, we've got flag lock, we've got slope, you can take that on and off, and now we've got that point-to-point measurement, that try measure, so we can start to see, is the gap wide enough for you to get it through? If you're in the trees, like mid-handicap Dave has been recently on his handicap scoring rounds, he could have used it to go into the fairway, point it to his ball, point it to the flags, see how far he had left to see where he wants to potentially try and get the ball out to have the easiest shot into the green. So guys, get in those comments below. Do you have a rangefinder? Are you somebody who uses a watch? There's certainly plenty of options on here, and if you want to see more kind of tips just like this around the golf course, get in those comments below and let me know what you want to see, so we can get out here, show you how to use different golfing equipment to help you lower your scores without having to change something drastic. We'll see you soon.